Am I the asshole for refusing to sleep in the servants' quarters of my fiancé's mansion? I, 22 female, am a working-class woman who was raised by a single mother in a council flat. Throughout my life, I was surrounded by people from a similar background, so I never felt self-conscious about money until I started dating my fiancé, 27 male, who comes from a very upper-class family. He is a very kind man who has done his best to make sure his parents aren't judgmental about my background, but I can't help but feel like I'm not a part of the family. My in-laws have been courteous with me, but in a backhanded manner, constantly telling me that I'd done well for myself despite my upbringing. I have a younger sister, 9 female, who has been in my care since our mother overdosed. My fiancé gets along well with her and is happy to help me take care of and raise her. His parents, 54F, 60M, own a very large estate in the countryside where they spend their summers. It's a gorgeous 18th century home that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. I had stayed over a few times, sleeping in my fiancé's room, but my sister had never been since she wasn't permanently living with me back then. My fiancé and I will both be staying there this summer, but we haven't yet made an arrangement for where my sister will sleep. The estate has 4 spare bedrooms that once belonged to my fiancé's deceased older siblings who'd passed away over a decade ago. I tried to discuss this with my in-laws, asking them if my sister could stay in one of their bedrooms when she came over this summer, but they abhorred my request, claiming they didn't want to ruin the sentimental memories associated with their dead children. I asked them if there was anywhere else my sister could stay, and they said the only spare bedroom they had was in the basement, which had once been the servants' quarters. It had been renovated and modernized, but it was distinctly different from the rest of the house. It was very bare and plainly decorated, while the upstairs part of the house looked like a set from a period drama. I tried to explain that my sister's going through a hard time as it was. The least they could do was not make her feel excluded by her own family. They said that it was their mansion, their rules, and if I didn't want my sister to feel excluded, then I might as well go stay in the servants' quarters with her. I tried telling them that the estate had been in their family for so long that every room once belonged to a dead person, and it was useless to try and banish people from using half the house. Our discussion quickly turned into an argument where they said I should be grateful they're allowing my sister to stay at all, and I ended up calling them stuck up and privileged. Am I the asshole? I don't think you're the AH in this situation. But parents never want to outlive their children. Some cases where it happens, parents tend to leave memories and keep rooms the same for many years as a place to go and remember them. Honestly, if this is real, it's the weekend trolls everywhere. It shouldn't have been. You asking, it should have been your future spouse. Unless he agrees with them, and then why are you marrying into the family then? You're the asshole. Once you start arguing with someone that this house is so old, you've definitely got family members that have died in every room. You might as well let my kid sister stay in one of your children's shrine rooms and just go ahead and get through those years of processing you've been too afraid to handle right now. You've lost all moral high ground. Not the asshole. Where was your fiancé during this discussion with your future in-laws? The estate has 4 spare bedrooms that once belonged to my fiancé's deceased older siblings who'd passed away over a decade ago. I tried to discuss this with my in-laws, asking them if my sister could stay in one of their bedrooms when she came over this summer, but they abhorred my request, claiming they didn't want to ruin the sentimental memories associated with their dead children. This is very morbid sounding. It's very fake sounding. So they just have 4 spare bedrooms that are permanently frozen in time because fiancé had 4 dead older siblings? Most country estates, even large ones, are not that palatial to have 4 spare bedrooms, as well as servants' quarters in the same house. Everyone sucks here, but this is a taste of your future life. Not the asshole. Why are you having these conversations? What is your partner doing through all of this? Am I the asshole for moving someone's bag when there were no seats left on the train, when he wouldn't wake up despite me making several attempts to get his attention? I've been mulling this over for the last few weeks. I was on the train going to work in the morning. It was packed, and some guy was sleeping with his bag, occupying the seat next to him. I didn't feel like standing, so I repeatedly tried getting his attention by saying, "Excuse me." After 4 to 5 times, I gave up and just put his bag on the floor so I could sit down. The literal second I put the bag on the floor, he wakes up, glares at me, and asks what the I'm doing, before angrily grabbing the bag and making a big show of looking through it before putting it on his lap. I responded that seats aren't for bags, sat beside him, and that was the end of it, except for the occasional angry glare. I don't feel guilty or anything. I'm reasonably sure he was faking being asleep, but would like some vindication that I am not the asshole in this situation. Not the asshole. And if he woke up that quickly to the bag being moved, he was ignoring you and pretending to sleep. Not the asshole. People do that in hope that nobody will dare to disturb them, but the more people will disturb, the less they will be inclined to keep doing this. Not the asshole. Seats are designed and made for the asses of people, and not for asses' bags. You're good, let him glare all he wants. Not the asshole. Everyone knows the morning commute is a crush. Am I the asshole for denying my overweight mother-in-law my pregnancy cravings and causing my teenager to lose her phone? I, 32 female, am currently pregnant and have been experiencing some intense cravings, particularly for sweets. My mother-in-law, 60s female, who is overweight, has been staying with us for the past week to help out around the house. I recently stocked up on my favorite snacks to satisfy my cravings, but every time I reach for something, my mother-in-law beats me to it. At first, I didn't mind sharing, but it's become a daily occurrence, and she's eating more than her fair share. I've tried hinting that I need these snacks for myself and the baby, but she brushes it off and says she's eating for two as well. Yesterday, I finally snapped and told her that she needs to stop eating my pregnancy cravings because she's already overweight and doesn't need the extra calories. She was visibly hurt and called me insensitive, accusing me of fat-shaming her. My husband thinks I was too harsh and should apologize, but I feel like my cravings are being disregarded. To add to the tension, during the argument, my teenage daughter, 15 female, intervened and took my side. She said my mother-in-law was being selfish and needed to respect my needs during pregnancy. This led to a heated exchange between my daughter and mother-in-law, resulting in my husband confiscating my daughter's phone as punishment for disrespecting her elders. Now I'm left feeling guilty because my daughter lost her phone and my mother-in-law is upset with me. Am I the asshole? Sorry, but you're the asshole. Either buy more snacks or hide them. The former would be better. A good host offers their guests the best. This led to a heated exchange between my daughter and mother-in-law, resulting in my husband confiscating my daughter's phone as punishment for disrespecting her elders. And you just let him? Everyone sucks here. Mother-in-law needs to get her own snacks and leave yours for you. She's being selfish getting into yours when you asked her not to. You're a total AH for shaming your mother-in-law about her weight and policing what you think she should or shouldn't eat. What weight is she over that is so unacceptable to you? Total AH fatphobic behavior. Your husband is a total AH for the respect your elders crap. Your daughter was standing up for you because you were being disrespected. She didn't do anything wrong. People should just respect one another, regardless of age. And teaching a child to respect your elders is totally outdated and stupid, and teaches children to be victims and never stand up for themselves when they're being mistreated. The closest person to being in the right here is your daughter in scolding your mother-in-law appropriately for selfishly crossing your boundary. Mill needs to go. She is stressing pregnant woman opposite of what she is there for. You're the asshole. You skip the step between hinting and snapping at her, where you communicate with her. Jumping right to insults about her weight was aggressive and rude. I assume since she's staying with you to help out food is fair game. Well, tell her what's off limits. Otherwise, how would she know? Also, you should not have let your daughter get involved. Using her as a tool to bolster your argument was not appropriate. Reading your comments here, it's absolutely clear you are the AH here. Not the asshole. Your mother-in-law is eating food you need right now, and your husband is taking his mom's side when he should be taking yours. Info. Are you labeling these snacks with your name? Luke, buy 2 sets, one for the house and one for you. Label your set. Once Miel finishes the house set, yours is off limits. YTA for what you said, but MIL is TA for eating your snacks. It's annoying when you go look for something and it's gone. Am I the asshole for taking back my brother's birthday gift? My girlfriend, 23 female, is going through a weight gain right now. She hit a rough patch last spring with family drama, work drama. It all just kind of piled on her all at once, which led to stress eating. She's unhappy with her body, with her size. I tell her every day that I love her and that she's beautiful. It perks her up a bit. We invited my brother, 21 male, out to dinner last night. Prior to that, though, we told him to swing by my place for pre-dinner drinks. So he comes over. My girlfriend is just wrapping up getting dressed. She comes out in a blouse and jeans. I tell her she looks great. She goes, "Oh, shut up." When she says this, I know she doesn't truly mean it. My pants are too tight. This top is too tight. My brother goes, "The only thing not tight is your body." He starts laughing. When he sees that we aren't laughing, he goes, "Kidding, kidding, just a joke." I tell him I want the watch that I gave him for his birthday back. He never takes it off. He gives me this bewildered look. I told him I was serious. I told him he's not just going to get to weight shame her and not get pushback. He takes it off, tosses it on my counter, says that he's not the real problem, and leaves. My girlfriend and I skipped dinner and instead had a long talk about her weight. Am I the asshole? I don't think you were an asshole like the other commenters do. What he said was terrible. Good for sticking up for your girlfriend. Sure, you're not supposed to take back gifts. Yeah, but he's terrible. I give it a pass, not the asshole. You're the asshole. You were doing so well until you asked for the gift back. I can see why you did it, but now you look like a child. You're the asshole. How exactly does taking back a freely given gift correlate to a bad joke about someone's weight? For starters, you don't get to take a gift back. Once you give a gift, it belongs to the recipient, not to the giver. It was not yours to take back. As for your brother, yeah, he's a bit of an himself, but he apologized. Give him back the watch, apologize, and c'est you. As for your GF, she can stand up for herself if she feels it necessary. Everyone sucks here. Your brother was the bigger ass by far. What he said was wrong, and you should have told him that. But taking the gift back was wrong. I get it, you were sticking up for your GF is definitely commendable. But gifts shouldn't come with conditions of good behavior, or it's removed. You don't demand gifts back because someone said something you don't like. Once you gift something, it becomes their property. Next time, ask him to explain in detail how the joke was funny, ask him to apologize and leave. Give him a good old talking to about fat jokes being rude, hurtful, and unnecessary. You're to be commended for supporting your GF so strongly. That said, going scorched earth over one joke said in poor taste is too strong of a response. Everyone sucks here. Everyone sucks here, except your girlfriend. You could have just kicked him out, and you would have been NTA. Also, did skipping dinner and talking about her weight help anything? Because that sounds terrible. Am I the asshole for not taking back my wedding necklace from my mother-in-law? So I'm 35 female, an Indian, got married to my husband 10 years ago. We were both working in different cities at the time, but I used to visit him every other weekend, or once in a month, as it suits. My mother-in-law lived with us ever since we got married. Mother-in-law loves gold jewelry, whereas I'm not really into any kind of jewelry. In Indian weddings, the husband gives wife a gold and black beads necklace as a symbol of the union, which all wives are supposed to wear all the time, like a wedding ring. But as I said, I did not like wearing any jewelry. I didn't wear it, but always kept it in my purse as it held sentimental value for me. But wore it on special occasions, like weddings or festivities. So here's the story. My mill sold her wedding necklace and replaced it with a different normal necklace. One fine day when I was visiting them, we had a plan to go visit a relative for dinner. She asked me where my wedding necklace was, and if I can lend it to her for the visit, as it would not look good if she wasn't wearing one. I did not like the idea of she wearing something that's sacred to me and my husband, but she immediately said it's just for the visit, and she will give it back as soon as we are back home. We came back, the next day came, was still waiting, but I did not say anything. The next day, though, she started asking me weird questions. Do you wear the necklace? No. I keep it in my purse as a symbol. Oh, so then it means you haven't told that you're married in your workplace. Of course they know. Your son is added to my insurance? I said plainly. I did know how to react to this. Then came the day I was leaving, and I still didn't get it back. I came back to visit after a month, or maybe more, as I had been busy, and the city I worked in was far. When I reached, I rang the bell, and my mill opened the door. Imagine what I noticed first. My wedding necklace on her neck. She didn't even take it off. That instance, I decided that I'll never take it back, as it's not something you would share. A few times she tried to act like she wants to give it to me. Example, oh, you are going to this event. Take this if you want to wear it. And I simply declined every time. Fast forward 4 years, she sold the necklace, added more gold in it, and bought a new one. But she kept the pendants as they are supposed to be the important part of the necklace. Now she keeps asking me to take it and add a chain to it so I can now start wearing it. And I again declined. Then she went to my husband, complaining about me that I don't want to wear the wedding necklace, and she has been offering me to take the pendants back, and I have been saying no. Well, my simple reply to my husband was, she wore it for years. She can have it. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your mother-in-law just ruined your wedding necklace, so it is no longer the same as your husband gave you. It became hers the very day she altered it, and now that she has ruined it, you don't want it back. You're not wearing it now is perfectly understandable, as any sentimental value is now lost, and yes, she can keep it now. Tell your husband all this, and tell him if he wants you to wear a wedding necklace, then you need a new one with a new wedding ceremony, and mother-in-law should have to pay for it all. You break it, you pay for it. Does your husband know this? How did he react? Wow, I can't believe she asked to borrow yours after selling hers. I've never even worn my mom's. Everyone sucks here. I do think you should have asked for it back casually, not confrontational early on. I suspect she took it as you not caring about your necklace because you didn't ask, even when she brought up whether you use it. But she shouldn't play games like that and should speak directly. I put everyone sucks here because it seems like all of you are failing to properly communicate and cutting your noses off to spite your faces. And a lot of you have been doing it collectively for years. So she wore it before to an event, and it wasn't a problem for you. Then she wears it in a casual context, and you decide you never want to take it back. Why didn't you just ask for it the day after anyway? Sounds like you don't like Mill and wanted to start beef with her about it. Granted, mother-in-law also sounds like a bit of a PETA. Everyone sucks here. Not the asshole. Your mother-in-law is awful. You're doing the right thing to not play her games. Well, that's another episode of Am I the Asshole in the books. I really appreciate all of you who made it this far into the video. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, it would really help the channel out a lot if you gave the video a thumbs up, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.